Hello everyone. So in this episode, I don't even know what you call that, but anyway, in this new video, I'm going to be just showing off some of the gear that I've got to get going. So I've got a big box of stuff here. It's overflows, so I've had to put some stuff there as well. And I'm going to be moving it down to my space that I've set up in the cellar. So I'm going to bag everything up now, get it onto the shelves, and then we're going to go through and have a look together at all the different things that I've got to get going. Right, everything's bagged up other than this, because you can just carry that like that. We're going to move it down to the cellar. Right, I'm in the room now. As you can see behind me, I've got all the gear set up. I'm just going to steadily start going through and showing you what I've got. So we've got 25 meter power cable. It's 13 amps, so this is specifically for like power tools. And next to that, we have my first welding machine. It is so cute, it's so light. And this is just going to help me get learning. At some point, I will be investing in getting a much stronger version, but just for now, this is all I need to get going. Here we have a practice kit for welding, and as you can see, there are these little squares, and there's a cutout square in the middle, just needs poking through. And basically, I'm going to be practicing my first welds on these essentially, and see if I can make some nice cubes. So they're probably going to come out awfully, but the last one should come out okay, because, well, that's what practice does, doesn't it? It helps us to improve. So that's that. And then this is my bad boy welding mask, which is pretty freaking fire. Big visor on it. And this is absolutely essential for welding. Like, you have to use one of these, because when you're welding, like it's like, you can look at the sun and it won't destroy your eyes, but if you look at a welding rod without any protection on, it can damage your eyes permanently. So you need something like this if you're ever going to do any welding. And if you ever see somebody welding, it's really tempting to look and see what they're doing, but be very careful, because you can permanently damage your eyes. So these here are the cables that come out of the welding machine. So this is, I believe, the earthing cable. So this will attach to some metal from the welding machine, and then this is what will actually hold the welding rods, which we'll use to be welding. So I'll show you them next. Okay, so I've got a big box of them here. I'll just bring some over to show you. And these are your welding rods. So you pinch the end bits there with that thing I just showed you, and that's where your sparks will be, well, that's where your weld will be getting laid from. So yeah, that's that. I've got myself a little assembly knife, classic, got a little sheath for it. I'm not too sure what that'll come in handy for yet, but assembly knives always come in handy. And I'll just show you quickly here as well. This is my workbench. It's more for carpentry, to be honest, but I still think it's going to be useful. It's got kind of like a vise on it as well, so I will most likely be making use of that. Here, standard measuring tape, very important for being able to measure your things. And then I've got a variety of discs for an angle grinder. I haven't actually got the angle grinder yet. I'm going to be picking it up shortly, so maybe I'll add that to the video, we'll see. You get different types of discs, so I'll just show you now. You've got this disc here. See, this is a very thick disc, so you wouldn't use this for cutting. You'd use this more for like taking away metal. So say if you were, working on a job and you needed to get rid of this bit of metal here, so then you could lay something or whatever, you would use this to basically just like take that down. You also have these are sanding discs, and this is just for like sanding, I guess, metal, and they're really effective. So I had practice using these before, as I've laboured for a welder. So yeah, these are really helpful. And then right here I've got some 1mm thick cutting discs. So there's actually 25 in here, there's loads of them, and that's for doing your cuts with the metal. Moving down, we have our Air Gear Pro. So this is what I'm going to be using when I'm cutting the metal. because yeah, when you got sparks flying, you're cutting metal, you know, you can get fumes, you know, it can be harmful for your lungs. So I invested a little bit into this because, you know, it's really important to look after your health. And I would prioritise, if you're doing anything like this, like, you've absolutely got to put your health first. It's not worth damaging yourself permanently. So yeah, I'm excited to get that set up. And we have just standard builder's pencil, you know, that'll come in for marking things. I've also got chalk. Chalk's a really nice tool for also doing marking your measures and things like that. You can see it's quite like, well, it's rectangular, so we'd usually, in my experience, when you get your grinder going and you just place it against it gently, and then that gives you like a nice edge, almost like sharpening a pencil, I guess. So moving on down, we've got a pair of ear defenders. Like, these are thick bad boys, because when you're grinding, like, you have to be careful, like, it's very, very loud. So there we go. Oh my god, I can hear myself in a different way. That's super nice. So yeah, again, safety first. So we've got them bad boys. Okay, now we are actually moving down. We've got a big chunky hammer, which is always very helpful, just whacking things off. This you might not have come across before. It's called a slag pick. So this type of welding I'm doing, I'm not sure how it is for other forms of welding, because I've only really investigated stick welding. When you lay your weld, it's got I'll just show you. The rod here, you can see at the top, you see where the metal is, and then you see it gets thicker. So this is actually a powder coating, and as you lay your weld, the metal goes down and the powder coating sits on top of it. Now once it's sort of like cooled down a bit, what you do is it'll leave something called slag on top, and so you use this little slag pick to basically knock it off. And that leaves us to our next tool, which is a wire brush. So I've got one here, and I've got a couple more down here. And so yeah, so once you've knocked your slag off, you can then use that to wipe it out. And again, I'm telling you these things now, but in future videos you'll get to see all this in practice as well. I've got some replacement blades for the Stanley knife, because blades don't stay sharp forever. I've got a right angle for, well, just getting lines, doing measures, that kind of thing for my metal. It's also got a nice 45-degree angle as well. This really important tool for doing your measures and stuff is called a set square. It also has a spirit level on it as well, which is pretty nice. So again, it's got that 45-degree angle, and then you've got this as well, so you can get your straight lines. So yeah, essential tool for when you're doing your measuring. Okay, we're on the bottom shelf now. Standard, they call this a wrench, right? So you can go in and out. Again, not entirely sure what this will be useful for. I've not really used this much when I've been a welder's labourer, but again, could come in handy at some point. This also, probably not going to be helpful for me immediately, but I saw it and I thought, you know what, I'll just grab it. So this is a line and a chalk, and this is particularly good if you are doing cuts on really long bits of metal. So you imagine if you had like a 3 metre piece of metal and you need to get a straight line all the way down it, and you've only got like let's say a metre ruler, you've got to use that ruler, draw your line along, and then move the ruler along. And when you look at it at the end, it can not always be so straight. So the idea with this is, you stretch it over the 3 metres, you got your chalk, you simply ping it, and then boom, you've got your 3 metre straight line. So super helpful tool. Just stick that back on down here. And then we've got some nipple clamps, essential for pleasure. No, these are not nipple clamps. I'm sure you could probably use them for that, but I wouldn't recommend. Well, I've not tried it, so I can't knock it. But yeah, these are like really helpful for just, again, holding things into place. And yeah, to be fair, they have a few uses that just come in handy, which I was just seeing that from my experience. So later down the line in future videos, we'll probably get to see these nipple clamps in action. And we also have this little crowbar here. Again, could just be useful because, you know, sometimes you might be welding something and it's like a little bit out, and you just need to give it a little bit of a, oh, if I could just squeeze that bit there. Okay, now that's holding that, I can lay the weld, and then you can retract it and your weld's laid. So again, very useful tool. And then going Right down here now, I'll just pull you along a bit. We've got the last shelf. We've got 2 levels, again with spirit levels as well. Am I saying that right? I could be saying this wrong. But yeah, these are very, very helpful. Again, it's got a nice straight edge for you. You can do markings down that. It's also got a measure on it. I've got a little one and a medium sized one. Next, I was about to say I hope I never have to use this, but to be honest, I think it'll be probably quite fun to start a fire and use it. But this is a powder fire extinguisher, and that is just in case we have any problems with fires. Boom, whip it out, spray it down, everyone's happy, nobody gets hurt. And then in here, we've got a variety of instruction manuals. We've got some replacement visors, replacement battery for the mask, and then yeah, just something for the headphones, instruction manual for the welding machine, and yeah, we also lastly we've got some standard labouring gloves. So this is probably what we'll be using for when I'm doing my cuts, and then we've got some welding gloves. So I've actually got 5 pairs here, and these are refurbished gloves. So you can see there it's had a patch on it and stuff. So these are probably not gonna, last me for ages, but leather is a very good material for this kind of work, and they should last me a bit of a while. I did actually look to see if I could get any without animal products, but honestly, trying to find welding gloves without animal products is very difficult. I did manage to find one company, but they were completely sold out. I've been in touch with them since on email, but it's quite a small business, and they put a little thing on their website saying that they don't have really much time to run the business, and they are actually looking for distributors. So potentially that is something that might come in the future for me, because I would like that to be on the market, for people that don't want to use animal products. You can get proper good quality stuff that just does the same thing without harming animals in the process potentially. So yeah, so that is basically my full inventory of stuff other than the angle grinder for now. So yeah, I'm gonna go pick that up shortly. I think I'll maybe just add another little clip on the end just to show you that, and then yeah, I think we'll be pretty happy with this video. So yeah, thanks for taking the time to investigate my inventory if you've got this far. And yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. I guess yeah, I'll go get this angle grinder now. I'll show that off quickly, and then I think we'll be happy with this video. Alrighty.